This is the Reno 8 Pro from Oppo. Okay, coming in from Oppo is this lovely cyan box, I suppose. Cyan, yeah, we'll go with that. It's an Oppo Reno 8 Pro 5G variant, and obviously it's an Android phone, and we're coming in to have a look at this, and it's been sent over by Oppo for me to have a play with and see exactly what I think of it. I'm going to do a full review on this and see exactly how well it works. So inside the packaging we get a SIM card ejector tool, some bump, and a thing, a USB-A to USB Type-C dongle. That's nice. It's nice to have a wee thing in there as opposed to nothing else in the packaging, as we increasingly see. It's the device on the top, which I'm going to set aside just for the meantime. And there's a huge charger. So this is the Supervooc or Supervooc, or however what you want to pronounce it. I go with Vook. I like it being Vook. That sounds fun to me. It's an 80 watt Supervooc charger. This is a gorgeously fast charger that'll suck the paint off your house and give your wife a permanent orange afro. Don't know where that came from, but it did. I think Dan Aykroyd said that, didn't he? Anyway, this is a really fast little charger that'll spruce up your power to your phone. I think you get almost 100% in about half an hour. And then we get a rather chunky USB Type-C cable, and I believe the cable and the charger need to be used in conjunction to be able to get this device to charge super fast. All right, so back at it, batteries. This is the Reno 8 Pro. As you can see from the side around here, it has a straight finish. It's not so much curved. It's more like an iPhone than it is a Samsung phone, I suppose. Yeah, and this one is all black. It's a sort of kind of piano gloss black. You can see it's very fingerprinty and very reflective. It's gorgeous looking. And then this massive camera island sitting out here that I can't wait to get out and start taking some snaps. It says Oppo across here on the back, and Odo if you do it that way around. It's nice that there's a groove around here. It's not so much a flush finish as abrupt as the sides of the phone are. That abruption is not evident around here. And then here there's just another small angular piece where the island is raised up. So it's smooth and gravitated from one level down to the other. But then here it just feels nicely milled as well. It's beautiful. It really is a very, very striking design. But you absolutely need a case, which would be such a shame. And it's a good weight too. There's a nice bit of heft to it because it feels like it's made out of more durable materials than some of its competition. It's sitting at 183 grams, which isn't a heck of a lot, but it's enough in a phone that it feels good. And then wrapping a case around it would be such a shame. But as you can see, I've been handling it for a couple of minutes, and it's covered in fingerprints, and it does feel a bit slippery, especially on those sides. There's not too much in the way of grip. But looking along the sides, we obviously have nothing along here. We've got 2 volume buttons there. And along the bottom here we have a SIM card slot. Now, I'm pretty sure this doesn't feature a micro SD card. And we'll double check it because I happen to have a SIM card ejector tool here. However, both models of the Reno 8 Pro has 256 gigabytes of storage, so you might not really need an SD card. There's an 8 gigabyte and a 12 gigabyte, this being the 8 gigabyte. Then around this side we have just a power button, I'm guessing that's what that is, with a little green fleck in it. If you can just about see that glittering there, it's very pretty. It's one colour that only appears in that one area. I suppose it matches the box, you know. No, it doesn't match the box. Turquoise, that's what I was looking for. Cyan and turquoise, whichever. Is it I don't know what turquoise is. It's a mint green. Mint green! So we have a couple of antenna bands here, and then up at the top we have, I'm guessing that's a microphone hole, and perhaps another microphone hole or some form of hole for sensing stuff that's going on. Round the front we have the earpiece up here. You can barely see it, it's kind of just about built into the top there. And then we have the front facing camera in the screen. Yeah. So the main camera around the back is a 50 megapixel camera, and then there's also an 8 megapixel ultra wide and a 2 megapixel macro camera. There's also an LED flash, which you can see there. There seems to be 2 LEDs, which is quite nice, and then some sort of combination here. I imagine one of these is the 50, the other's the 8, and then maybe that's the 2. It films full video, 4K at 30 frames per second. No 60 frames per second on that, which is a bit of a missed opportunity. 1080p, 30, 60, 120 and 240 frames per second, and 720 as well. The screen is an AMOLED 120 Hz display. It's 6.7 inch, as you could well guess from all phones these days. It has a resolution of 1080 by 2412. And it's got cornering Gorilla Glass 5. We have Android 12 on here with ColorOS 12.1. And the processor inside of this is it's a MediaTek Dimensity 8100 Max, which is a 5 nanometer processor. It's an Octa-core, and it's got a Mali G610 GPU for backup. And it is quite nice the way, just like the iPhone again, the screen comes right up to the edges. It feels really quite nice in the hand, and just looks like a nice big slab of technology to play with. So because I have it to hand, here it is against the Pixel 6 Pro, which is my daily driver, and you can see the screen does look exceptionally bright, although as per usual the Pixel 6, well, I suppose it's running at 3/4 brightness. Let's skip that for now. And unfortunately we have some suggested apps that it wants to install for you to enjoy. I don't think any of those are particularly exciting. I don't know what Share It is. That would be the only one that I think would be anyway useful or a benefit to your life. And we can have traditional navigation, or we can have gesture navigation. I can see the battery's down a bit. This has obviously been through other reviewers' hands before it's got to me. And it's got a lithium-ion 4500 milliamp hour battery. The pamphlet here says that the 80-watt charging will charge this from 1% to 45% in 10 minutes, and from 1% to 100% in 31 minutes. That's a pretty incredible statistic. So, right, okay, well, I'm going to jump into the camera, and then I'm going to use this as my daily driver for the next week or so, and then I'll update you on my thoughts. So all that, what's this? Marisilicon X. This model is equipped with Marisilicon X, Oppo's first self-developed imaging NPU. With its powerful imaging processing capabilities, Marisilicon X brings you the next level of photography experience. Terrific. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll take a picture of Mr. Williams from Army of Darkness here. With that, and then we will take a picture of, on full auto mode, from the Pixel, one of the best cameras on the market for its time. And you can check those two out But what I'll do is I'll run around with this and take some video and stuff like that and see exactly how well it fares. Oh, it is really nice. Maybe it's just the joys of having a new phone. Oh, even though I said I didn't want to install the bloat, we have bloat installed. So we've got LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, Netflix, and Oh Relax, and music. We do have more under here as well. But ColorOS is a very nice rendition of Android, and it has lots of Oppo fillet full of lots of interesting applications that are fully featured, and to be honest, the picture looks rather well. I have to say the color is quite impressive of that. Oppo's optics are generally excellent. Right, well, I'll start playing with it, and I'll update you in a second. Alright, so one of the first things I want to do is have a test of this new Supervooc type stuff going on here. This fast charging that's supposed to get you from 0 to 100% in, was it 33 minutes or something it said in the manual. I'm going to have a go at that now. Timing this was actually quite difficult because always on displays and things like that aren't that easy to achieve, and also it would have, if the phone was on and running, then it's obviously going to suck up a little bit more battery power and things like that, and getting another reliable phone to stay on as long just meant that actually recording this segment took a number of different goes. Given how fast the phone charges as well, whenever I left the phone and then discovered that it didn't work very well, I had to unplug the phone, but only to discover that the phone was charged 45% after a couple of minutes. So it was a long drawn out process to get what you're about to see here and now, and it'll be over in a couple of seconds. Here's a notable point in the journey. At 10 minutes and 30 seconds, we just about hit 50%. So there we are, coming in just at 100%, ticking over at 32 minutes and 20 seconds. Not a bad scoring, really. It's a pretty fast charge. 32 minutes and 22 seconds for 100% charge is pretty incredible by any phone standard, and is a bit of a game changer whenever it comes to how you fit in charging around your life. So the camera on Oppo devices is generally very good. I've really never had a problem with some of the cameras that I've used on Oppo devices. Can't say categorically all of them are excellent, but this one is no slouch. It certainly takes very nice still images around the garden here. I'm just snapping away at various different things using the ultrawide here, and then down to the regular lens and into the macro lens as well. Obviously the macro lens being 2 megapixel is slightly less high quality than the rest of the camera, but it all looks really quite nice, to be honest, in idyllic circumstances. Flipping over to the video, obviously the Oppo Reno disappoints a little with the 4K running on only 30 frames per second, no 60 frames option being available, but the video is crisp and nicely coloured, nicely balanced as well. The microphone is quite good as well, as you can quite clearly hear me mouth breathing as I have a cold. As my model gets into place, we flip over to the telephoto lens as I zoom in on the little kitty cat here as he plods around. One thing that is worth mentioning is that you do get a bit of microphone disruption from the outside of the phone, where your hands may be covering one of the many microphones that are recording whilst using the video camera. It's very evident in this clip. I gotta say that this really is one of the most beautiful phones that I have had in my hands for a good long time, when you compare it to some of the other phones that are out there, like the Pixel. This really kicks its ass when it comes to looks. The beautiful reflective exterior plays havoc with your autofocus and is a fingerprint magnet, but really is a very, very strikingly beautiful design. To accompany this, the phone also feels very natural in the hand, although it is devilishly slippery and will require a case. So when all is said and done, and Oppo want this back, I don't want to give it back. I really like it. Some people will criticize it straight away for saying it's got no Qi charging. But Qi charging, I feel, is a wee bit unnecessary given the faster charging that has been included, because you're going to change the way you charge your phone based around that fast charging method. It is a little bit of a pain that you could only achieve that fast charging with the accompanying charger and wire. But I'm prepared to go with that, and I would buy another if this was my main device. Now, I've been using this as much as possible as my main device. I don't have a case for it, and it is that slippery that I would need a case to be able to use it for my day-to-day stuff. So I only did a small amount of day-to-day stuff on this, and I didn't take it out of the house or out of the car whenever I was going for fear of dropping it, because it does feel like it's not going to survive too many drops, as it's very fragile. And this big colourful screen is gorgeous. The phone is super fast. I'm not geek benching it or anything like that, because it's a tried and tested chipset. It works very well. It's ColorOS, which is one of the better Android overlays. Some people may dislike it. Other people can quite happily get used to it and enjoy using it. There's a packaged amount of apps and things that come with it that enhance the features, and it's all great. All the settings are very easily laid out to get into and enjoy. Does anyone enjoy settings? I don't think so, but you can find what you want when you need it, and the phone performs exceptionally well. There is an excellent battery inside of it that lasts a really long time. I know, because waiting for it to discharge took longer than I had anticipated. There are various little bits and pieces that have been included that feel a wee bit Samsung, the likes of the panel that you can swipe in. I don't remember that being in my last Oppo phone, but it seems to be a recent addition to ColorOS that I might have missed. But it's a very handy and thoughtful widget that doesn't get in the way at all. The Oppo Reno 8 Pro should be on many people's lists for a phone to upgrade to. It's a very sensible, very beautiful, and very well made device. It's got an excellent price point. But if you're looking at this video wondering if this is the phone for you, I would say, with my hand on my heart, yes. I'm looking for reasons to get rid of my Pixel 6 Pro so that I can use one of these, because I do like them very, very much. And the charging method suits me. Others will say that that's not good for the battery, doing that to the battery. I have an Oppo Find X3 that my wife has been using this charge method for over a year now, and the battery hasn't degraded. So consider it. Do. If you like the look of it and you're looking to upgrade to this, you won't be upset, you won't be annoyed. It's an excellent phone, and that's all I can really say about it. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments box down below. Hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. And other than that, take care.